Hey Bear Weight Nation, hope everyone's been fantastic lately. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. If you're new to the channel, what we talk about is weightlifting, training, injuries, supplements, and any pharmaceuticals. So I want to kind of give an update what's been going on. I know it's been a hot minute since I've posted last time. I've been extremely busy with just kind of life stuff and dealing with my injuries. So if you haven't been following, I am actually a little over 2 months now since I have had my surgery with my pec tear on my right arm. Luckily enough, everything's been coming together. As you can see, I am now completely out of a sling. I've been doing rehab for the last about 3.5 weeks so far. I've had a phenomenal rehab clinic that's been working on me, training me up, teaching me all the movements. I still have a lot of atrophy in the right arm. I am slowly starting to build my strength back up. I'm doing movements. I can do lateral raises and things like that. We're starting to do a little bit of involvement of activation of the pec. And of course, this week is going to be my big exciting week of actually starting into the band work and starting putting some attention on it. It does feel a little different than it has in the past in terms of pre-tear to post-tear. But I want to kind of give everyone a kind of an encouragement here on just what you need to do to kind of get through the first major milestone, which is that 8 weeks of rehab. The first week is going to be miserable. Right after surgery, you're going to come home. You're going to have a lot of inflammation. You're going to have a lot of pain. It just depends on your pain tolerance. I felt, I had to take some pain medication, not a lot. I was only on a day and a half of pain meds, and then I was good. But if you're not, if you have a low tolerance pain, you're going to come home with a lot of pain, a lot of heat, because your body's going to be inflamed like no other. You're going to be groggy, and your arm's going to be numbed out like no other. I actually almost thought I retore it because we had taken the sling off. My arm just gave out completely. I thought it was strong enough to hold it, but luckily I kept everything tight, so nothing tore or anything like that. So I've been very fortunate enough not to re-tear anything. Of course, as you can see, this is the current status of that scar tissue. It's completely healed. It's got a little bit of like the stitching looks like it's right there, but it's just a little bump. If it is in there, it's going to eventually break down. The way the surgery is actually done, if you guys aren't familiar with what a pec tear and how it works, is it's going to be the pec major, is the one right here. When it tore, it actually tore away from the bone. Luckily, it was a traditional pec tear where it didn't tear the fibers, because if I had torn the fibers, I would have been kind of out of luck. Unfortunately, I'd have to live the rest of my life without it being reattached, because they can't right now fully reattach muscle to muscle based on just kind of like, you stitch two pieces of steak together. It's not going to stick very well. So what they did is they basically went in there, stitched the tendon. So they kind of, after they open you up, pop it open, they stitch the tendon up, and then they drill 3 points in the bone. So they drilled consecutively where it was originally attached after they scored the bone a little bit, and they drill into that, and then they take a piece of metal, titanium, and they actually put it inside the bone, and then when it's turned, and then it's actually faced on the inside of the bone, so it's actually flat. So it goes in and then turned, and then it comes flat. And the twine, or in this case the fiber wire, is actually slid through, and they do 3 of those, and then they tie it, and then they stitch it up so it pulls flush to the bone, so you have a strong suture. Working with like I said, I could feel a little bit like there's tension there. Like if I move certain ways, it's still kind of like a little like a stingy feeling. Like it's like, hey, you're putting a little too much force there. Luckily enough, with my physical therapist, he actually expects me to make 100% recovery. He actually works with guys who are powerlifters, people who have major injuries, and he's had a couple buddies of his who've actually torn their pec. One in particular, I should say, where he tore it off the bone. He was benching like 5 plates or something like that, tore it. Same way I did, pec major. He's already back to powerlifting again after about a year of rehab. It's going to take me about 6 to 9 months to get back to 100% strength. That's expected, especially with such major damage here. It's, your body has to just take some time to recover. But like I said, there's a lot of atrophy. Luckily enough, I've changed my whole routine. Moving forward, I'm out of powerlifting. I'm not going to focus on it anymore. I'm just strictly focused on bodybuilding moving forward, just because getting in my mid-30s, I'm starting to feel older. I just want to prepare myself. I want to get lighter. I want to feel better. My blood pressure was getting high, and that was a big concern for my health. So I made the decision, and I said, okay, we're going to cut down. So in the process of right now, I've already dropped almost like 15, 20 pounds in the last month and a half after I could start training, because I had to wait 2 weeks after the surgery to get the clear to go ahead and start training again. So I've just been focused on bikes, treadmills, 5 days a week, legs. So I do a split routine. I do Mondays, it's going to be legs, which is either going to be a bike or the treadmill. No running because I don't want to put any major movements like this. So an incline max, and then just about 3 miles an hour high pace walking. Excuse me, guys. So, and then biking, and I'll do 30 minutes to an hour depending on how I'm feeling in terms of like either I'll do a high intensity workout or I'll do a little less intensity, longer duration. And if I'm really feeling it, I'll do a long high intensity workout. And then I do some sort of leg pressing. No putting weights, no squats or anything like that. It's just going to be machines, leg pressing twice a week. So it's going to be 3 days a week of some sort of cardio, and then 2 days a week of some sort of weightlifting. And it's just with my legs. I'm not touching my upper body right now. I don't really want to touch my upper body until I've got the okay clear to start weightlifting, because I want to build them up together. I don't want to be lopsided. I know there's some studies out there, of course, and everyone's going to take their own path on this, is that if you start working out one side, it's going to help build the other side. So I made the decision to focus more on just, hey, if I'm going to go back into it, I'm going to go back into it just focusing on both, because I want to be as even as possible, so that when I get my physique where I want it to be, it looks more evened out and everything else. So I'm always going to probably be, for a while, my right side's always going to be a little bit smaller than my left until I get full movement, full strength back into it, because I don't have full range of motion yet. I'm still very sticky in terms of that. Is like when you move, when I move, I feel a lot of tension, like tightness, especially those first weeks where things were really popping and banging. My shoulder still pops. I'm getting to the point, luckily enough, where when I move, it doesn't pop nearly as much. My shoulder was popping really badly. You're going to experience that because a lot of the muscles have atrophied and a lot of the tendons are weak, and so everything's just kind of sloppy in there. And so what was holding it tight is now loose, so there's just a lot more movement and popping and banging. So just be aware of that. There's, at the end of the day, as long as you have a good surgeon, and you have someone who's going to really help you rehab, and then of course your mental state. This is a big thing. I've been very positive through this whole thing. I had one day, the day I tore it, and it was pretty much the day I tore it, was my kind of like pity patter day, where I was really irritated. I was frustrated. I was kind of like, I wouldn't say cursing the world, but I was just angry in a sense. And then I said, when I woke up that next day, I said, okay, all right, have my pity party. It's time to move forward. It's time to focus in and start driving forward and figuring this out and get myself back to square one, which is, being able to have my arm back in full range of motion. So the biggest thing is just staying positive. I've been very positive this whole process. I've been very fortunate enough to work with great people. I've had great family members, just encouraging me, and just friends and families and all that good stuff. So I'm just kind of moving forward with that, and I expect to make a full recovery. My arm's already coming back. I'm already feeling movement, strength, getting full range of motion back. Not there yet, of course, like I was saying, because I'm only 2 months into this. So, we still have another, and I should say, when I sat down with my doctor, we sat down like a month after my surgery. So we did my 30-day follow-up. He said, okay, you have 6 months from here moving on to essentially get back onto the bench. And I don't want you bench pressing. I don't want you doing heavy lifting for 6 months. And I said, okay, biggest thing, guys, just don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let your mental state of like, oh, I can do this kind of thing take over, because that's when you injure yourself. Take the time, rebuild it properly, because you don't want to risk it. I mean, you re-tear this, you're done. Like, if I re-tear this again, I'm done. I'm not going to be able to have my strength back. So I am taking this with the utmost just focus. And just to let you guys know, also, it's a financial investment too. This is not a cheap, okay, just go get it done kind of thing. Even with insurance, it's still going to cost me, well, just kind of give you an idea of numbers. The whole surgery was just under $50,000 if I had no insurance. So with my insurance kicking in, it's closer to $5,000. And then of course, here's the other side to it. I still have insurance for my rehab, and I still have a deductible. So I'm going twice a week, and twice a week is going to be $50 each time. So after we're talking about 4 weeks, that's $400. So, that's another $400 for 6 months. So you start adding all this up, this starts adding up quickly. So, you don't want to like just take it lightly as like something where you're just going to tear yourself up and then just say, okay, well, it's not a big deal. If I, go in, I re-tear it, it is what it is. But you're just thinking about your financial investment. Now you just waste all that money for no reason. So that's the other side to it too, is you don't want to just waste your time and money doing your rehab and, you know, getting yourself back to normal. So the biggest thing, guys, is, you know, at the end of the day is just stay positive, follow your doctor's instructions, follow your rehab instructions, you know, and find someone you can, you know, who can actually do the job right. You know, do your research. You have a couple weeks to figure out who you're going to end up working with, especially if you re-tear it. You want to get in there within the first 2 to 3 weeks. You go longer than that, you start atrophying too much. You can run into complications with your surgery. As I've talked to my doctor about that, he says, yeah, it's no good thing. That's why he did an emergency surgery, I should say, and put me at the top of the list. He basically said, within 1 week, I was in the surgery room getting under the knife and getting put back together. So like I said, if you guys want to follow kind of some of the stuff I'm going through in terms of my injury to where I'm at now, just go through my channel. You'll be able to see the first day I injured myself, next to my, you know, my arm being blue, black and blue, to coming out of surgery, how I felt after surgery, to where I'm at now. And I'll keep posting updates because I know there's other people out there who are going through something similar that I've gone through. And I've been very fortunate enough to just kind of be in the right position, just having the right people surround me, and just kind of moving forward with a good mentality and good healthy mentality, and be positive. That's like the biggest thing, is just stay hopeful, because if you're staying hopeful, you're going to have a really high chance of recovery. And the other thing, when you go in after your surgery, after those first 2 weeks, because you're going to be very, very careful, get yourself in cardio, and supplement like no other. Get your, you know, your glucose, your collagen, all that stuff set up. If you're on pharmaceuticals, then, you know, look for healing peptides like BPC 157, TB 500. I started taking that pretty much within the first couple of weeks. I'm off it right now. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from it. You know, if you're, you know, another thing is, if, as I've talked about before, I'm enhanced in the sense where I take TRT. So that is helping me actually heal that muscle a little bit faster too, and the injury itself. But you got to also be very careful, because, you know, obviously when you're on some sort of supplement, or in this case, I mean, enhancement, you're going to end up, you know, you build muscle up faster, but it can make you even stronger, and you can end up re-tearing it. So it's just be smart about that. Not saying that was the main reason I tore my muscle. Just went because I think it just overdid it that week. For whatever reason, it decided to tear, and I was changing up my bench style. So I think that's what got to me. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to focus on bodybuilding, like I was saying before, and just move forward with a mentality of just getting lean, getting cut, and focusing on my health overall. Still going to be strong, but I want to be really well balanced. And yeah, hopefully this encourages you guys. If there's anything else I forgot, you know, always hit me in the messages down below. Hit me up. I'm always willing and happy to answer any questions you guys may have. And then just kind of follow back, because I'm going to be starting to create more content. Like I said, I've been out, so it's just kind of been more focused on recovery, recoup, and just kind of getting things taken care of financially. So now moving forward, we're gonna start kicking off more videos. So plan for more in the future. Other than that, Bear Weight Nation out. You guys take care of yourself and have a good one.